Rhodes Wrestling Academy this coming Sunday will bring you Starrbash, a special showcase featuring some of the best graduates from the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. That'll be on the Rhodes Wrestling Academy YouTube channel this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. And tell me all about it. Plus, of course, we'll recap a little AEW. Joining me live, he is the owner and head coach of the Rhodes Wrestling Academy, and, as I lovingly call him, my AEW correspondent. It is the Natural Dustin Rhodes.
What's up, Stu?
What's up, D?
Good, baby. You?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So what inspired you to do Starrbash?
Starrbash is, we came up with it because kind of off the Starrcade.
Which your father created.
Right, and I just wanted to throw a different little spin on it. Since we didn't have a camp this time, we just took a bunch of the best that I have, and we created this Starrbash, like an all-star cast. We got some really good matches. We got 5 matches. We got the men's title, of course, C.D. Bennett against Hit, and that should be a hard-hitting, beefy match. Ozzy and the returning Slim 7, which now calls himself Ven Parker, which I'm anxious to see how this match is going to go. I'm sure it's going to be great. Hopefully,
that should be a good one.
Hopefully Ven is going to, he's been out of the ring for a while. Let's see if he's a little rusty or whatever. Texas Outlaws have a rematch against the RWA Outlaws to see who the real Outlaws are for the tag team titles in a Texas bunkhouse match.
Another creation of your father's.
Yes, and the Texas Outlaws asked me, can we have a bunkhouse match like you and your father and Cody and whatever else? And, because we're very good in those style matches.
I've seen
matches.
I've seen most of them, in fact, including the ones with your father.
So,
Dusty.
can the Texas Outlaws actually win the titles this time? We will see. It's a rematch. Hopefully, they're prepared for it. They've been learning a lot, just like everybody else here, growing. Then we have the women's championship. What is her name? The Magnificent,
Immaculate
Iris versus Kimberlina. Kimberlina was in the my last showcase. She's growing, doing good. We're going to see what happens there. Returning Chad Lennox in a grudge match.
Chad Lennox
Against
Who hates it here,
T.Y.
apparently.
Shane. I hope Mama Lennox makes an appearance today because she's always very entertaining for the show. But it's good to have Chad back in RWA where he started. And it should be a really great, fast-paced 5-match Starrbash.
It should be fun. I'm so looking forward to it. Of course, once again, letting me be on the commentary with Ryan Belfort, who God help
doing
him.
a hell of a job.
He is a
He's a little loud.
He is a little loud, isn't he?
Yeah. He's
so you've got your 11th camp starting in August.
Yep.
What do you expect? I mean, you've done 10 camps now. So basically 3 years worth of, instructing and coaching and everything. What's the biggest point of pride that you have from the previous 10 camps?
Well, in each camp, it's a 12-week program, just to see what they've learned, each of them, each camp, and even now to see all the advanced students showcasing themselves in Starrbash is going to be really special. To see them do some amazing stuff that I taught them, that's kind of the proud moment that I have, is like the daddy moment.
Right.
They're all putting in the work. They're all very respectful. They all have great attitudes. They're checking their egos constantly, which I preach constantly about, and they come together as a team. And I think as a good, well-oiled team, when you're working as a team, it just works. Things work a lot better instead of just everybody in little groups and cliques and things like that. And yes, we have that, but I'm just like, you guys got to come together as a group and a unit to be successful with this thing. And I think we're doing a great job. We're getting better each year. Each time we have a showcase, our production's getting better. I think we're falling into our little comfort zone where we're doing some good things. So we need to switch it up and do some better things. And we're growing, as any company does. And I'm proud of it because, for so long I wanted a wrestling school, and it took me a long time to where I actually had time to do it. So
Yeah.
now I'm really enjoying it, teaching, and they seem to listen. They're very coachable, and I'm proud of them.
Well, and that's in the card you have for Starrbash. It's such a great, kind of the microcosm of what we have seen over the last 3 years.
Yes.
You've got Chad Lennox coming from the very first camp.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got Kimberlina coming from the last camp, and C.D. Bennett,
Yep.
who is your current RWA
Right.
champion. So you're spanning the entire lifespan of the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Camp 11, is there anything that you're looking forward to? Is there something that you want to try different than what you've done in the previous 10?
No, not necessarily. I think what I have is a good system and patience. And I'm not a very patient individual, but I noticed when I opened this school, I became patient when I'm teaching. So I found my patience in that area of life of teaching, and I think I do a good job at it. So I don't really, every camp we might do some more advanced stuff because I'm just thinking, okay, they're doing really well. It depends on how advanced they are in the 12-week period before I throw something new on them. But, a lot of guys, some of the camps are very athletic and, willing to do some stuff, no fear. So it becomes a little bit easier to teach them something that is dangerous. And they pull it off beautifully. So it's like, yeah, that's what I love to do, man. Teach them, how I learned. Mm-hmm. Exactly how I learned, how I do things. And, there's a lot of fixing that I have to do because they've learned from somebody else or another coach, which there's no right and wrong. I just want to teach them my way.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's worked good for me, my career.
I would say so, absolutely. Rhodes Wrestling Academy Starrbash coming up this Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. See it on the Rhodes Wrestling Academy YouTube channel. Once again, I am thrilled and honored to be the voice of the Rhodes Wrestling Academy. Should be a lot of fun. Let's talk a little AEW. We just had Forbidden Door.
Yep.
Something you told me offline, which it's great, it's just phenomenal. The main event, Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay for that AEW World Title. You were the one that coached both Swerve and Will Ospreay.
Yes.
That was a phenomenal main event.
Yeah,
and
it was.
I expect nothing less. I've known Swerve Strickland for years, back when he was wrestling for Wrestle Circus here in Austin, and now, of course, he's the world champion. Will Ospreay is staking his claim to being the best wrestler in the world, and they put on an absolute banger. How proud are you to see what they were able to create in the ring in the main event?
Those guys are so good, right? There's not a lot that needs to be taught, except for certain things like timing on something or positioning on something. And they're very coachable, and they listen, and they do some amazing stuff, and they're unreal for talent. It's like Will Ospreay's they're both on another level. It's really crazy to see all the years that I've gone through wrestling and seen all the different eras and all the different superstars. These guys bring it to the next level, and it is it's shocking how good and athletic they do with the very dangerous stuff, and they just do a beautiful job of it.
They're
proud
fantastic.
of them, both of them.
I am too. It was
Especially Swerve.
Yes, Swerve retained. What a great match. When you guys do have Forbidden Door, of course, you're bringing in the talent from New Japan Pro Wrestling and from CMLL. We even had the women from Stardom, so Mina Shirakawa.
Yep.
What is your interaction with, say, Tanahashi or Naito or even Mina Shirakawa? What's your interaction like with them?
It's great. I've known these guys for a long time because I used to go to Japan a lot, so I've met them and I know them, and just to see them come in and get their opportunity here in America at a Forbidden Door or something like that is great, and I love it, and they deserve it.
Yeah.
They're superstars in Japan. Right, and the more eyes we can get on them, the more they'll know. Okay, this guy's really good. I need to start watching some New Japan.
Yeah, well, and I'm looking forward to seeing the younger guys like Shota Umino, Shingo Takagi starting really making his name. But those guys, Ren Narita, I want to see those guys step up and claim some of those top spots in New Japan.
Absolutely.
But, let's talk about MJF, who came back, seemed to be kind of a reformed guy, but then we saw this past week on Dynamite, after Daniel Garcia loses the match against Will Ospreay for the international title, Ospreay gives him all the respect in the world, and it looked like MJF was going to come in and kind of console him. And then MJF does what MJF does.
Yeah, he resorted back to his dirty deeds.
And went back in a big way.
Yep.
MJF, I'm sure we're going to see more of that in the weeks to come. AEW, their next pay-per-view is going to be Wembley. It's all in Wembley in London. Do you think that Daniel Garcia, once he comes back, because he was pretty beat up, you got to imagine Daniel Garcia is gunning for Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Right.
And I could see that as a match in London.
Well, if it does happen, it's going to be incredible. And they're both great, talented gentlemen. Daniel is really coming into his own right now. He's getting the opportunities, and he's shining with them, man. He's stepping up to the plate and delivering. And I love Daniel. And he's a very talented athlete. And, with MJF, my God, I mean, these two can just knock it out of the park with an amazing match or amazing fight, whatever, whichever kind of route they decide to take on this.
We've got Blood and Guts coming up in about a week and a half. We know it's going to be the Elite. The Elite seem to be getting stronger. Jack Perry winning that ladder match. He is now the new TNT champion.
Right.
Of course, you got Kazuchika Okada, the current Continental champion, and then Matthew and Nicholas as the tag champs.
Yep. They seem to be having all the gold, don't they?
They do. They're trying to find a fifth person. And we know Mark Briscoe, the current Ring of Honor champion, world champion, is going to be on Team AEW.
Well, all they got to do is give me a phone call. I'll step in.
I was going to say, I'd love to see that. Would be fun
with the bad guys.
Give me your thoughts on what the Elite is doing, especially now. Tony Khan's back after he suffered that TK driver.
Right.
Tony Khan's back, but Matthew and Nicholas still playing their games. Give me your thoughts on the Elite.
Matthew and Nicholas, they're kind of running roughshod throughout everybody in AEW and just trying to bring things down and stopping matches in the middle of the match because they want to make an entrance and do something, right? And it just that kind of pisses me off because, who are you to do this? These guys, we're working hard. We're trying to, get our brand, our individual brands over and get over with the people and really start to get some love or some hate or whatever. And you guys got to interrupt and you got to do your little shenanigans that you do backstage. And it's kind of sickening. And I think Tony needs to stand up to him and say, hey, we're putting a stop to this now. You're going to be fired or you're going to be heavily fined or suspended or whatever. Just because they're EVPs, they're not the boss. And
Right.
Tony has that power in them to end their careers real quick.
Oh, absolutely. Plus, you got Christopher Daniels there to help
like
Tony.
A mediator type thing. Yes.
And I love CD Death.
Yep.
He was such a phenomenal in-ring talent.
Yep.
Now, kind of an interim EVP, if you will.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with Blood and Guts coming up in a week and a half on Dynamite. In Rhodes Wrestling Academy Starrbash, tell the folks 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. This coming Sunday,
July 14th, on Rhodes Wrestling Academy's YouTube page. Please watch it, subscribe. We're trying to grow our audience. It's getting there slowly, but I appreciate all the fans that do watch religiously every single showcase. It means a lot to me, and I know you guys understand that these guys are students and they have a long road ahead of them, so you're very kind to them, and they appreciate that. And I think we have a good thing going here, and we're going to continue to grow, and hopefully one day we'll have some television or something. But, like I said, we're going to start running shows in Leander soon. I'm not quite sure exactly when, but we're finally going to start running some shows with Rhodes Wrestling Association.
Okay.
And I'm looking forward to that and bringing some live fans into our building and, letting our students actually wrestle in front of some people.
Absolutely.
Which will be beneficial to them because that's where they'll learn.
And if they watch that and they say, I want to be a pro wrestler,
sign up.
RoadWrestlingAcademy.com,
baby, please. We get lots of applications, and we go through them, and we make our picks and stuff like that. But please, if you're gonna apply, be serious about this, man. It is a serious business, and really think about it because my wife's got a lot of things to do. Please don't waste her time.
We don't like to waste Terrell's time.
You like to say, hey, man, you want to come be a professional wrestler, come to Rhodes Wrestling Academy, well, then do it.
Absolutely.
Or, don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we would love to have you if you want it. I'm a good teacher and a good trainer, and I'm here training the guys 95% of the time unless I'm at a pay-per-view.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love it that I am available to do that.
I agree. He is the Natural Dustin Rhodes. Starrbash this Sunday on the Rhodes Wrestling Academy YouTube channel. Dustin, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, baby.